And we're live. Okay. Welcome, everybody. My name is Char, and I have a wonderful guest, Sadhana Sabharwal. She is the single mom millionaire. So how's that for a title, right? Very catchy. So Sadhana, you are a mother of 2 doctors, 1 MBA. You've been paying a lot for education. How did you do all that? You bought and sold, I believe it was 35 properties up to date right now. And not only did you buy and sell 35 properties, you did it with none of your own money. So I think that's what most of our guests want to listen to and hear about and figure out, how do you do that? How do you buy all these properties with no money down? And are you still doing it? And can we still do it in today's climate? So Sadhana, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. I'm super excited to be here because, I've known you for a little amount of time, but you are one of my heroes, definitely. At a very young age, you are putting out a lot of great content. And for me, that's admirable. Now, having said that, I have bought and sold a lot of properties with no money. Yes, 2 doctors and 1 MBA. And I always joke around saying, I haven't gone to university, so I'm not smart. That's one of my limiting beliefs. I've paid a lot of tuition, but I haven't got a degree to show for it. With respect to your question about, is it still possible? Most definitely. I just bought one, actually 2 months ago, I bought a property with no money. So yeah, it's definitely possible. I do believe anything and everything you put your mind to, it's possible.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So let's bring it back a bit. When did you start this journey? How did you start this journey? And what brought you to buying properties?
So what happened was I became a single mom about just over 20 years ago, let's say. And my kids at the time were 9, 11, and 13. And I guess as they were growing, I realized I can't afford these kids on a law clerk salary. So I was looking for ways to bring in more money. And that's when I started out with second mortgages. I started out with doing small loans and stuff. And then one day, a client came into the office. She was renewing her mortgage. And her mortgage payment was lower than my car payment.
Wow.
And a light just went on. I was like, wait a second, this does not make sense. Your mortgage payment is like 300 and change. And that's where she explained it. And then she invited me to a club that she was starting. And it was about real estate. And that's where my journey began. So that was about 12 years ago. And then I started buying properties because I guess I had to come up with creative ways because I didn't have any money. That was the whole reason I wanted to get into real estate, because I needed to bring in more money to support my children or to support the expenses they were having. And I was saying this the other day, when the kids were little, they would be happy with $1, $2. Mom, I need a toonie. Mom, I need $5 for a school trip. But as they got older, now I realized, okay, it wasn't $2 or $5. It was like $20 or $100. And then it's like, Mom, we need a car to drive to York and stuff. So the expenses just kept on growing. But as you know, at any job, your income does not grow at the same speed. So yes, it's pretty much flat. It is pretty much flat. Like, even if it does go up a little bit of a percentage of inflation, it's not the same thing. You're not going to be, if your expenses go up by $500 a month, your income is not going to go up like that. So you have to come up with creative ways to figure out how are you going to bring in more money. And that's what happened with me. I just started learning about real estate and I was just like, okay, I can do this. And then of course you make mistakes along the way. And, from there you learn and you hopefully don't make them the next time. But that's all it is. A life is a journey.
I remember when I bought my first brand new car, my monthly payments on the car was about $500 a month. So when you're telling me that somebody had a mortgage payment for $300, how much was that? Like my car was $30,000 and I had a loan for, I think it was four years. Every month I was paying $500 until it was paid off. So how expensive was that house, or how much was that house worth?
I don't know because I don't know exactly what the principal, like, what the amount
What's
was
the
and stuff,
small
but it was a
amount?
property in Cornwall.
Okay.
And like I said, the mortgage payment was something like $350.
Mhm.
And I was amazed because, and then you know what the best thing is, I was able to do all of that where some of my mortgage payments are about $300.
That's a
One
really
of,
good strategy because like with cars, a lot of people love cars. I love cars, but it is a depreciating asset, right? You're paying $500,
exactly.
$1,000, right? And it's only going down in value. Whereas you're buying a property, somebody's paying the mortgage and your payments are less than what a car payment is. And over time, we all know that real estate usually, not all the time, but
Usually,
will go up
usually,
in
yeah,
value, right? And then you can refinance that. So that's
correct.
very interesting. So they're usually outskirt properties. They're not like in downtown Toronto
No,
or
no, no,
GTA.
no. I didn't buy anything downtown Toronto. Mind you, all of my properties have been in Ontario.
Mhm.
So I bought a lot in Northern Ontario. I bought them in, one was a cottage property in Baysville, like in Muskoka. There was another property. I had two properties in Toronto. There's Georgetown, Hamilton, Burlington, all over, not specifically downtown Toronto because I'm not a downtown person. I'll tell you a funny story. Actually, one of my first properties was also the cottage property, right? And when we bought it, we wanted to fix up some stuff. It was a 1 bedroom and we converted it into a 3 bedroom. And I brought my kids with me to break down some of the stuff. And we get there and they're like, Mom, we're brown. We don't do cottages.
That's
I
hilarious.
mean, mind you, this was like over 10, 12 years ago, but it was just hilarious. I couldn't believe it. And they said it so, like, seriously, Mom, we're brown.
It's like now you started the trend.
Yes, yes.
So you got cottages. Are they multifamily?
Okay, so that was just the one cottage I had. I'm not built for cottages. We ended up selling it and stuff a couple of years later, which is fine. But I have bought anywhere from single family home all the way to eightplex, and all all with no money down. I love saying that because it makes me feel that, my God, anything is possible. You just focus. You just need to focus on what you want and you can make it happen. Like, so I looked for people who were motivated sellers. So what are they going to do? If I can solve a problem for them, they would be willing to do it for me, right?
So if you don't mind, just let's explain to the viewers exactly how a deal would come about for no money down. Let's say you want to buy an investment property. You have no cash in your pocket and you know that it's a good deal. How would you structure that deal so that nothing's coming out of your pocket?
Okay. So one thing I'm going to say, first of all, how about we explain what a no money down means?
Of course.
So to me, what a no money down means is no money's coming out of my pocket. In other words, I don't have to have the cash in my hand to go out and buy that property. Not even the 20%, which is traditional way of buying. And I explained that. Traditional way of buying is you have to have the 20%, you go to the bank and you get the 80%. So that's, forget that for a moment. No money is, I don't need to have the cash. I could go use my credit. I could use credit card. I could use other people's money. I could use line of credit. I could use neighbors' money. I could use friends' money. I could use coworkers' money. Anybody's money. Money is required to buy the property. So let's be clear on that, right? Because I know a lot of people think no money down, not possible. Shut down.
Yeah.
Major shutdown right here. Close it up, go home. We're done, right? But how do you make it creatively? So then, for instance, I'll give you an example where, as I was saying, it could be anybody's money. I bought a duplex and I borrowed the down payment from a coworker.
Mhm.
And from that positive cash flow, I gave her the money. It was paid off in about 15 months.
There you go.
And I was done, right? Because I did not take any money out. That property was making, I think, about $600 a month. They're gone. So now all of a sudden the value of my property is higher because I don't have that, call it a loan, second mortgage, promissory note.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways of borrowing money. And this is why I keep on telling everybody, it's just how you think. Anything and everything is doable.
Yeah.
How do you think? Like, I didn't know no money down existed. I don't even know like there was such a name or a coin around that. For me, it was just like, I don't have money. This property could potentially give me $500 or $600 or even $200 a month after paying its expensive. How can I do this? How can I do this? I borrowed money from my family for a down payment. I borrowed money from a coworker. I brought in partners that could get the credit or put in the down payment because the deal was so awesome. So when you're willing to do the work and you have the knowledge, everybody and anybody will partner up with you because they see that you have put in the traction that's required.
Exactly. So just to clarify one more time, no money down doesn't mean no money at all, because you always need a down payment. You got closing costs to purchase a property. But what no money down means is none of the money is actually coming from you. You're actually getting it from a third party or a line of credit, credit card, doesn't matter. And it's short-term financing, because I know anytime I talk to people about no money down and borrowing money from a line of credit or credit card, they freak out. They're like, oh my gosh, why are you paying 23%? On your credit card? But they don't realize that it's short-term financing. You're not holding that for a long period of time. So
Exactly.
explain that on your part. How much did you have accessible to you in terms of a line of credit or a credit card for these deals? And what was the size of the deal? Most of them.
So when my ex-husband left, I still had a mortgage on my house. Yes, I did have a roof over my head and I had the 3 kids, which I'm grateful for. So that was my starting point. When he left, I think I had a $55,000 line of credit on my house. So then from there, one of the deals I did was I bought a property for $5,000.
What?
I
When was
Let's
this?
repeat. $5,000. Go.
$5,000.
I bought a 2-bedroom bungalow on a tax sale for $5,123. Like that was my bid, and I won it. And then I used Uncle Home Depot to put in the repairs. So after that was
just started right now. It just got so interesting. What? $5,000? What?
Yes, $5,000. I bought a 2-bedroom bungalow on a tax sale.
Wow. That's crazy.
And then, like I said, Home Depot came in. I was like, Uncle, I need some money. I need some credit. So Home Depot was the biggest, supplier of my supplies to fix up the house. And then after it was done, I went to the bank. I refinanced it. I got all my money out. I paid Home Depot. I paid off the $5,000. And I actually walked away with money in my pocket.
Perfect. Excellent.
And I still own that home today. It is rented for just under $800 a month. The cash flow from that property alone is over $400 a month.
Wow. Okay. So what we do know is you can buy properties with no money down. You can cash flow. You can do flips and all that stuff. Now, let me ask you the crazy question. Tell me about the horror stories, because it can't be all smooth, right?
Oh, it's not at all. You know what? I've had my downs as well. I've had sleepless nights. I've had to go to my mom to bail me out a couple of times, and it's all part of learning. But imagine if I didn't even start, if I didn't even think it was possible. Is anything possible? Then I would be where I was. I'd be still making that $50,000 a year. I would still be working hard. My kids would have a lot of debt on their shoulders from all the education. I wouldn't be sitting here being a proud mom that I was able to do this. And this is my message to other people. If I can do it, so can you. Like, it's like, start somewhere. I have a student who, after we did a one-on-one with her, she started to do wholesaling, and she did like 3 deals.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that's good. So, but the thing is, again, if you come with an open mind, yes, it's possible. But at the same time, if you say it's not possible, then hey, it's not possible. Whatever you tell the universe, it's going to just come right back at you.
It depends on who's listening, right? Because some people will say, wow, this is interesting, I want to learn more. Then you're going to have some people who think, oh, that's a scam. Like this is all BS. It's not possible, right? So
it's a reflection of whatever is happening.
Where should somebody actually start though? Like, you're brand new, you don't know, like, let's say they're working in a totally different industry and they just want to get into real estate. When you did it, I don't think the real estate prices are as high as it is now, right? So it's probably a lot more expensive now. How can somebody who has no experience, no money right now get started?
See, for me, it wasn't always the same. Like I bought a property even just 2 months ago with no money, and in one of the towns that's growing up right now, we'll call them, right, Hamilton, Ontario. So that was also no money down. It's just, I mean, for me, I focused more on properties that would give me positive cash flow. So think about it this way. If I'm looking at a property that is $1 million, at the one, even if you just take the 1% rule, would that property give me $10,000 a month in rent? It won't. So I won't even look at it, because my idea of real estate investing was to bring in money, not something that's going to cost me money every month. So for me, it doesn't matter how high or how low the property is. Is it going to be able to give me money in my pocket every single month? That was my only goal.
Now, the properties that you're buying, are they move-in ready? Are they in good condition, or do you have to spend more money in renovations?
I have done all different kinds. There have been properties where I haven't had to do anything, and there have been properties where I have had to do renovations. So it just depends. It just depends. Like, you know, for instance, I bought a 5-plex in Georgetown, but I bought it, I think it was $270. It was a power of sale, and I knew that it would need money. It needed about $90,000 in renovations, but I brought in a JV partner that brought in the down payment and brought in the money for renovations. And I arranged a private mortgage to buy the property. And that property is worth over $1.3 million today.
So let's just explain how a JV works. So you had the deal, but you didn't have the capital to close the deal.
Correct.
But you had the experience as well.
Correct.
So what you had to do was you had to find somebody who had the money, and probably maybe they have experience or they don't, but they didn't have the time to do all the research that you do, and they didn't have access to the deal. And that's where you guys come and join forces. Is that how it works?
It's quite accurate. So what happened was, in this scenario, I found the property, I made the deal, and then this person, he already wanted to do real estate investing. So I remember having a discussion with his wife one time, and I said, oh, I think at that time I had done like 10 or 11 properties. And they said, oh my God, my husband wants to do it. You should speak to him. I said, okay. So we had a discussion. So then when this property came about, I said, you're going to need $20,000 for down payment, and it needs about $90,000 of renos. So he goes, yeah, I have a line of credit. Like, okay, great. And then that's what happened. So now this guy did know some like renovating and stuff as well. So we together painted the places, like, you know, fixed up the floors, because as I said, it was a 5-plex, only 2 of the units were rented. So we wanted to get the 3rd unit rented right away so we could break even. The expenses would be covered after the 3rd unit, and then the other 2 units would be our profit. So even if it took a little bit longer, it didn't matter. So you know how the mortgage payment is due 1 month after, right? The first mortgage payment. So we had a whole month to finish this one, and we knew the first and the last payment was coming for the mortgage, and boom, we were ready. So it literally had, like, he didn't even have to come up with any money for mortgage payment, because the property was able to give us that.
So from day one, like from the first payment, you were already
we were covered. We were covered. Yeah.
That's excellent. So all the properties that you've bought, so like, how many do you have right now? Are you starting fresh again? You got rid of the old ones?
Well, what happened was I sold a lot because of my kids' education. Like, as I said, I did it because I wanted to pay for my kids' tuition. Right now I'm down to 8, and I'm selling one next week. So soon to be 7.
Wow. Excellent. So I noticed that you're still a law clerk. Tell me, someone who's making all this passive income, what made you decide to stay?
Okay, so you know what, before I answer that, let's talk about what's your financial freedom number, okay?
Yeah.
So for me, a financial freedom is my monthly expenses, and I make $10 more than that, right?
Yeah.
So it's important to know what your number is. So my real estate brings me enough money that I'm financially free. However, what would I do with my whole time? What would I do? And I was saying I'd be pulling my hair out. Yes, I've got a lot of hair, but really, what would I do? And I love my job. So why do I have to give up something I enjoy doing?
Yeah. That's one thing I always hear from a lot of my clients and all. When they go, well, what do I do right now? I just want to buy properties just to quit. And I think that's not the right focus. You find your financial freedom, but at the same time, you have to follow your passion at the same time, right? So tell me about your academy. You got a course coming up. I think you're launching in about a week or two, right?
Yes.
So
So, like I said, what do you do with your time?
Yeah.
So when COVID hit, we were all home. And I said to myself, I've got knowledge. A lot of people do ask me and call me and like, how do I do this? How do I do this? Why not create an online course? And that's what I did. So we called it the No Money Down Academy. And I have pretty much poured everything I know into this course. So somebody who is just starting out or wants to add another property to their portfolio would be able to go through this. And I can't see them not being able to buy something if you follow the steps. And I think one of the things I'm thinking is like there is about 7 modules. The very first module I talk about is mindset. Now, on your mindset, you have to be in the right space before you can do anything else. So like I was saying at the beginning, if you don't think it's possible, or if you don't think you can do something, you're not going to be able to do it. So, and also I talk about your relationship with money. So there's different exercises. And at the end of every module, there is, I want to call it homework, for lack of a better word. I really do. So in that scenario,
the practical component.
Yes. Right? Because otherwise, if you like, I could learn, but if I don't put that to practice, it's no value. It really isn't going to be doing anything for you, right? So I will teach you stuff, and then I say, okay, there are your action steps or homework, right? Same thing. So it would be ideal that you don't go to module 2, do number 1, do the practice, and then go on to number 2 and stuff. And then there is nothing that's going to stop you from being successful.
Wow, excellent. So that course is geared towards people who are starting from fresh, and then it can also add a new line or new inventory to your knowledge base for even the advanced people, correct?
Totally. So it is for beginners, and I've put content in there for people who are further ahead than the beginners. Let's call it that.
Okay, perfect. Sadhana, so any last words before we head off, and how can people reach you?
Okay, well, first of all, I am hosting a free training on 26th of November, so they can go register at the nomoneydownacademy.com/register.
And I'll put a link on the bottom of this description, guys. So
okay,
I'm going to put the full link there so you don't have to look for it. It's going to be right in the YouTube.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And then they can reach me on social media. They can reach me on Facebook, on Instagram. We are Single Mom Millionaire Official. On Facebook, same thing, Single Mom Millionaire, or by my first and last name. Other than that, like, I'm reachable. Just Google.
Last question, Sadhana. Your title's a Single Mom Millionaire. Is it going to stay like that forever?
I've been asked that question. Hey, I'm single, so I can.
Mom Millionaire.
You know what? I have a vision for that Single Mom Millionaire. Like, I didn't just become that. My coach, my mentor gave me that name. And I think right now I identify with that because I feel like it's giving hope to people. Because if I can do it as a single mom with 3 boys without any financial support from my ex, I don't see why somebody else cannot, right? So one of the other things that I actually wanted to share right now is they can also go and if they do the nomoneydownacademy.com/guide, just for being here, they can go and download a free guide, which is 10 ways to buy real estate with no money down. So that is another bonus for being here. And I hope to see lots of people on the course. I mean, I'm super excited. I really am, because I just feel like I now have the power to change someone's life. And I don't mean power in like, not an egotistical way, but like just being grateful that I can help someone start their financial freedom journey.
Exactly. And all you have to do is set it, and then eventually it'll take care of itself, right? So
yes,
well,
yes.
thank you so
I
much.
mean, there will always be skeptics out there. Oh my God, it's not possible. Oh my God, it's not. Whatever you believe.
You can only help those that believe that it's possible, right? And then,
Correct.
and you know what? Before we end off, I think it's when you mention mindset, it's also on when you purchase properties to live in. It's completely different on your mentality, and how you look at a deal versus when you're buying a rental property or a flip. And I think a big reason why a lot of people think things are impossible is because when they try to buy rental properties, they think as a homeowner. They think like, well, I wouldn't live in this property.
Exactly.
I want marble. I want granite. But you're in a specific position. The people that you're renting to, they have a need, right?
Right.
And that's why you have that shift. So a lot of times when I speak to investors, they sometimes buy properties without even going to the property.
And it's true. In the beginning, I did too. I must have looked at like 60 properties right off the bat. And I think I put an offer maybe on like 14. And I only came away with 2 at that time, like from that one batch, because not everything is going to fit the box that I wanted to fit in.
Exactly. And most investors make decisions based on the numbers. If the numbers work, that's when you put an offer in. If you don't visit every house and then decide that you like it for yourself and then put an offer, right?
Well, that's exactly what happens. A lot of people, as you said, they want to see marble floors or marble countertops and stuff. But really, if the numbers don't make sense, what's the point of buying a marble kitchen countertop?
Yeah, you're going to
right?
spend
It
$1
doesn't
million
make
bucks,
sense.
and you're only going to make $3,000 a month. And depending if you got that money yourself, you might even be short on the cash flow, right? So.
Oh, of course. And that's not the idea. That's not the idea, because you don't want to be putting money in every month into a property that you bought. So then you're going to be stuck at 2 or 3, because if you have to put in even $300 a month in every property you buy, and if you look at the numbers now, like, even if you look at a condo downtown, you're looking at a very smallest condo at 500,000. And that place, even if it brings you 2,500, it's not going to cover all the expenses, I don't think, right? So you just have to have, as you said, a different mindset. What's the purpose for you buying this property? And if the purpose is that it's going to bring you in rental income, then let's just focus on that one piece. Yeah. Everything else, whether it goes up in value or not, because appreciation is a gamble. Yeah. What is the property going to do right now? Yes, you could buy a house for $1 million hoping it will go to 1.3, but who's going to carry the mortgage for that $1 million until it goes to 1.3?
Or it could go to 800.
Yes, it could. Definitely. Right?
Real estate is about supply and demand. So
true.
People think that we've been spoiled for the last 10 years, that it just kept going. It's going to keep going. And look what happened now. So there's some markets that actually came down and some are on fire right now. So it really depends.
Yes,
well,
yes.
Sadhana, well, I wanted to close off because I want everybody to come over to your link. I think it was November 26th, right?
Correct.
November 26th, the No Money Down Academy. Sadhana, thank you so much for coming over on the podcast over here and sharing all your knowledge. And look forward to seeing you again at our next event. I think we have another event coming up
soon.
December 5th. Right? Yeah, December 5th with Robert Kiyosaki and Robert Allen and Sunil Tulsiani, and they're all about the No Money Down. So
Yes, yes. You know what? When I started my real estate journey, I didn't know there was a Robert Allen. I was like, oh my God, I've been doing this. And when I finally met him, I was like, oh my God, I'm so honored to meet you. I've been doing your teachings and I didn't even know.
There you go.
But yes, thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you. I hope I've added value to your listeners. And if there's anything I can do, please feel free to reach out and, join the free training as well. And we'll see you there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sadhana.
Daniel. Bye.